Immediately after I graduated, I pretty much went right into real estate. I got my real estate license, and then I helped them open another branch in San Antonio. From there, I jumped around a little bit, but landed in a position where I was an assistant, and I loved that for a long time, but I think I knew it was either you become an agent, and that's something that I wasn't interested in, and so I think I had just gotten to a point where I knew it had run its course, and I kind of wanted to try something new. I felt like I wanted something where I could run around. I'd had jobs in the past where I like that. I like being on my feet. I don't like being as tied down. So I think I was drawn to that, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take this delivery job, and it might end up being something in the meantime. That definitely wasn't my 10-year plan of, hey, I'm gonna become a a veteran delivery driver. That was sort of like the springboard into starting the bakery. It ended up being sort of this perfect thing that I didn't expect it to be, but once it, again, turned into the dessert line, then it's something that I am very passionate about. So from there, we sort of began that conversation of what would it look like, how would we use Nimble Food as the platform to kind of get basically the word out. We sort of learned very quickly that we were selling a lot more than we anticipated, which is a great thing, but because it's so new, we're still trying to figure that out, but I'm pretty much at a point where I need an assistant. Most of the week is actually cooking, but it's a lot of also trying to figure out what are my action items to actually further the business and make us successful beyond the Nimble Foods platform. Kind of liked cooking, but as soon as I started watching things and sort of learning how they did it and realizing it's not as hard as you might think, that's when I kind of learned the foundational stuff, and then I wasn't afraid to sort of make up recipes or just see what I had in the fridge and just make it up as I went. But we already did kind of get somebody that said, hey, the s'mores brownie, they called in and she was like, I love those, can I just get a half sheet of the brownies? And so hopefully that will keep happening and be consistent. So that's another kind of facet of the business, is just people calling in and saying, hey, we need this. I wouldn't have guessed, number one, that I would even go into real estate, and then number two, that it would eventually lead to launching a dessert line.